I think it just froze. So we have the first freezing with this camera. This is just a bunch of hype to get you to buy another camera. And then next month, the new Canon comes out and then you're gonna get hyped to buy the new Canon and then the new Sony and then Nikon's gonna come out of nowhere. And then if you change my mind and have me end up buying the camera, I'll send you $100 myself.
How's the camera handling so far?
It's all right, bro. I don't see what the hype is about these cameras.
What does it do? Like, what is it exactly? What does it do exactly?
Is this the most overhyped camera ever made in the history of cameras? Yes. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm just joking. This is the new Fuji 100XV16. It's the new Fuji that came out yesterday, and we are shooting with our influencer today. And we're gonna try to get some really good photos with this camera. I don't think it's possible because it's not a Canon, but we're gonna try. And if she doesn't like it, we'll blame Fuji.
Fuji Union?
I think it just froze. So we have the first freezing with this camera.
Did it freeze?
It just froze, yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is about the most overhyped camera that we've ever seen. And yes, you know what camera I'm talking about. So we're shooting in 6K video right now because why not? Let's see what this does. Can we do close-ups? It's not focusing. Now it's closed. Just so you know, this video is sponsored by your mom for allowing you to watch this video. I am not paid by any company. I am loyal to whichever camera works, to whichever camera is efficient, to whichever camera makes me money and brings me joy. Joy first, then makes me money, or sometimes it's different. Sometimes I need the money. But you know what I mean. If you're using cameras for work, they should be bringing you money and they should be a joy to work with. They shouldn't be difficult. That's why people sometimes switch systems. It's because of the inefficiency and the difficulty of using those tools, of using those cameras. This is a fixed lens. I can't do anything about the lens. It is a 23 millimeter on a cropped sensor lens. Now, you know that this video is about the new Fujifilm X100 Mark VI that just came out a few days ago, or if you're watching this months, weeks, whatever ago. I never had the one previous to that, the Mark V. The Mark V has been sold out since like 2021 because it went viral through, I think, TikTok videos or Instagram videos. And I tried to buy it like last year. And even though I put in like pre-orders or I, went on a stock wait list on Best Buy, on Sammy's, I never got the camera. So I eventually canceled it. This camera, I tried to buy it launch day and it was sold out on Adorama, B&H, Sammy's, our local camera store, George's, another local camera store, and even like Mojo Cameras, Best Buy. It's been sold out everywhere. I did try to pre-order it like a week before, but I wasn't able to. So on launch day, I tried to hit all those places up. They're sold out everywhere. As you probably know, if you're watching this, if you were able to get one, then you're lucky. And if you weren't, you may be watching this because you're on the fence on, should I buy this camera? Should I not? Is it really overhyped? And I just want to go into it. I want to tell you the things I liked and the things I didn't like so you can make up your own mind. I'm an actual user. I'm an actual professional. I use the Canon R6 Mark II and the R5. I've been using it for years. My new favorite video camera, though, is the Blackmagic 6K full frame. So that's kind of how you know what cameras I love. I've been an avid shooter of Panasonic. I think Panasonic S5 Mark II, S5 Mark II-X is a fantastic camera. And even the Sony FX6, FX30, those are fantastic cameras as well, although those are not for me. I used to own the FX30, but I bought and returned it. I think I have another video on why I wasn't a big fan of that.
How's the camera handling so far?
It's all right, bro. I don't see what the hype is about these cameras.
What does it do? Like, what does it do exactly?
It's like it went viral 6 years ago, the one before this, and it's been sold out for 6 years. So imagine something being sold out for 6 years. Like you can't buy it from anywhere.
And you got it.
No, the new one came out yesterday, and then the new one sold out. So I found someone on the corner. So I was like, can we pay you like $500 to get this for a day? He's like, sure. So we got the camera, but we have to give it back by 6:30 tonight. So we have it for basically a day. We're gonna run it through the test. We'll put it on YouTube. We'll see the photos, and we'll compare it with the big guy over there. And we'll see which one does better. Now, when it comes to things that I like about the camera, let me start there. So it is a small, lightweight camera. So obviously, we don't always want to have a big lens, big, heavy body. Sometimes we want it to be small. We know we're going on travel. We're going to shoot a long wedding day. We're doing whatever, and we want it to be small. We want it to be compact. So I am actually welcoming and looking for those smaller cameras. I had my eye on the Leica Q3, but obviously it's a little bit out of my budget, so I never got the Q3. This was somewhat comparable. I was like, hey, kind of specs look similar, although obviously the Q3 is probably going to have a better image quality. But I was like, this is a fraction of the price. Let's check it out. If it's worth it, I'll keep it. If it's not, we'll return it. So I got it that morning and immediately tried to put it through the test. So as you know, it's 48 megapixels, I believe. So a lot of image quality. It has a great battery life. When I was using it, I think I had it on and off for about 6-7 hours. I don't think I got halfway, or maybe I got halfway. So battery life is amazing. It's lightweight. It has a fixed lens. So the reason you're keeping it lightweight is because the lens doesn't come off. It's a fixed lens. But the lens, you can zoom in 3 times with the front of it. So when you zoom in, you're essentially getting 3 different looks. You get a zoomed in look, like if you're shooting 24, you zoom it in, maybe it goes to a 50 and then goes to 85. I don't exactly know what you're zooming into. Let me show you some samples. So this is my buddy Mario, who is shooting some behind the scenes. And this I shot normal, wide, normal, full megapixel. And if we go to the image size, it is 5152 by 7728. So I shot it obviously vertical. Now, if we go to the next one, it is 3648 by 5472. So as you see, it came down a little bit in resolution. If you go all the way, it is 2592 by 3888. And I'm just going to show you a similar thing. You can see the bokeh is amazing. I don't know if it's a 2.0, 1.8, whatever it is. Bokeh's great. Zoomed in, looks great. If I zoom in even more right now, it looks a little soft, but not horrible. The full zoom, it looks all right. If we go here, it is 3888 by 2592. So as you see how much it went in. These are the JPEGs. These are not the RAWs. I wasn't able to throw my RAW photos in Photoshop to edit them, or in Lightroom. I probably don't have the latest version. So these are the JPEGs. I'm looking straight out of the camera. So you can see it looks color accurate, looks good. Maybe slightly on the magenta side, but that could be for various reasons. I also did have the ND on because I didn't want to shoot. I wanted to shoot photo and video. In the next video, we'll probably talk about the video side of it, but I wanted to shoot photo and video, so I wanted to be able to see how it's going to perform in video without it cranking up the shutter all the way, because it was kind of a bright day. So this is one more shot, straight JPEG of the model we were shooting. This is her in shade. Dynamic range looks good. It doesn't look amazing. Doesn't look like it's super, it's not like 14 stops or anything, but it looks good. This was when the sun was setting, my buddy Mario again. And the other cool thing that it has the film emulation. So you can go through the different Fujifilm stocks. You can add grain, lots of it medium. So I added medium to this one. This was one of the film grains. And when you zoom in, you can see the grain here. Again, this is a JPEG. This has not been processed in any way. And one more behind the scenes shot. So I'm zooming in. And you can see it looks good. It's good separation. It looks fine. There's no real issues with it like that if you're talking about it. So I'm shooting with the new Fuji. Came out yesterday. We got it today. And it's a cool camera, but I don't understand the hype. I don't like how slow it is. I know it's supposed to be a point and shoot and maybe a travel camera like you take with your family or if you're traveling on your own. But maybe I'm just so used to shooting with Canons that it's just so much slower to me. It's cool that you can, do the 6K video. Cool that they have the ND filters. Those are all neat features. I like how you can use your fingers, your hands to change the aperture like this, or the shutter is on the top. That makes it look, like the old school film cameras. But I feel like the autofocusing and all that stuff is still slower. It's definitely not as fast as a Sony, and it's definitely not as fast as my Canon. So all I can say is the picture quality going to be worth it? Is it going to justify buying this camera if you already have like an R7, if you already have a Sony a6300? Is this going to be an improvement, or is this just a bunch of hype to get you to buy another camera? And then next month the new Canon comes out and then you're going to get hyped to buy the new Canon, and then the new Sony, and then Nikon's going to come out of nowhere, and then you're going to buy the new Nikon, and then DJI has a new camera that's coming out, and then the new medium format Leica comes out, and then so you know how it goes. This one I think is the most overhyped camera though I've ever seen. That's why I had to get it and try it out to see, is it worth it? And so far, it's not. But let's get into why this camera is overhyped. This camera is overhyped because of what it does. I don't think it's worth the $1,599, the $1,600 price tag. For that same price, I think you should get a interchangeable lens or even get a different point and shoot that's cheaper. Get one of the Sony A6700s, whatever the newer ones that are out. Get a Canon R7, R8, the R10, one of those smaller ones, R100. Even Panasonic, I think, has a G9 Mark II or something that came out. Those are better cameras that are the same price or cheaper. And those are going to be more functional, more efficient for your work. As you know, this only has one SD slot. And as you know, you can't shoot backups on just one card. But then again, the R8 only has one slot, right? And the Blackmagic 6K only has one slot. And, people use those professionally. So let's put the card aside. Let's not, label the camera non-professional just because it has one card. The main thing I do like is how you can go into the Fuji different picture profiles. So let's go. Let's try this. Let's go to film simulation, and we have the Real Ace right here, Real Ace right now that I was shooting at. We got Pro Neg. I think you're gonna get canceled for saying that. You got the Classic Neg, Nostalgic. Oh, the Eterna Cinema. This one is the one that should be cool. So let's take a picture. Okay. So it just looks desaturated right now, but let's go to video. Maybe video is going to be cool. So I'm going to take this down to video. Let's go to autofocus. I don't think the autofocus works as great as any of the other. It doesn't even work as great, I think, as the Panasonic S5 Mark II, and that's kind of a new autofocus. Their autofocus was horrible before. I think it's slow, and I think it hunts a little bit. I was probably only at like 70% success rate when I'm shooting photos. It could have been user error, could have been user settings, but it just looks slower, and it doesn't look like it locks as accurately as obviously my Canons or Sonys. I believe the menu is also slower when you're going between photo and video. There's slight delays here and there.
How much is this camera?
$15.99, I believe. So I'm gonna go to video. It's at 6K, I believe, right now at 29.97. And let's shoot some video and see how this looks. It's crowded. It's not easy to navigate. I don't think it's intuitive. I'm used to Canon menus. I'm used to Blackmagic menus. Even the newer Sony cameras, like the FX30, that menu was great because they switched it. They gave it like a little cinema area. But this almost was like I'm switching between the R5C photo and video mode when I'm going from video to photo. There's a slight blackout that happens that it switches. And I was like, dude, that's kind of annoying. I want to just go from photo to video a little bit quicker. Is this really that quality that you'd use on a wedding? Or probably not, because not only is the autofocus maybe not as fast, but it only has one memory card. And you can't really shoot a wedding with one memory card, because if someone on YouTube finds out, they're going to cancel you. And they're going to tell your clients that this guy only shot with one memory card. Although that's what I use when I shoot with the Blackmagic. The Blackmagic only has one memory card. But shh, don't tell the people on YouTube. Stabilization was good. It was good having stabilization. And they told me before, right? The YouTube family told me before that you can't have stabilization with ND filters. But here's a camera that has stabilization, that has ND filters. I don't know how many stops the ND was. I only was able to go a little bit with it, but the stabilization was good. It wasn't Panasonic level again. It was good. So also the other thing I don't like, when you look at the play button, the play thumbnail, it has the Sony thumbnail, the one that's really crap quality, which I am not a big fan of. So who would buy this camera? I guess if you're a hipster, you're looking for that retro look, you'd buy this camera. If you like the dials, if you like moving the dials, having that kind of manual control, I guess that's fun. You'd buy this camera, but it's not worth $1,600 in my opinion. If you're looking for a camera that's point and shoot, there's alternatives. If you're looking for a travel camera, if you're going traveling and you're looking for a camera, then you have to be honest. Your latest iPhone 15, 14, 13, or your latest Samsung is going to produce similar results. And you can always get a app that's going to give you the Fujifilm stock look or the LUTs that are going to go on your video to give it that look. You don't need it from the actual camera. It's cool that you can connect a Wi-Fi to the Fujifilm printers and you can print it on there, although I didn't do that. I saw the option for it. I thought that's cool. It's just not something I do. It's more of a gimmicky thing. And I would pay $300 or $200 for the Fujifilm Polaroid camera so you can print the Polaroids from there, but not a $1,600 camera just to print Polaroids. You're probably not going to do that. Even rich people are probably not going to do that, but they have it in there. There's probably a usage for that. Statistically, I think they said 1/3 of all point and shoot compact cameras sold in the world are going to be this camera. So it is a huge market. It is selling like hotcakes. It's sold out. It's probably going to be one of those cameras that's sold out for months. I don't think years, because it's manufactured in China this time. So they have the parts and they were expecting a lot of people to buy it. But I think similar to the Apple Vision Pros, this is going to be returned heavily. There's going to be a lot of people returning this, and the used market is going to have a lot of these cameras on there. So if you're looking to purchase this right now and you're like, I don't care, I want the retroness, I like the knobs, I want that, I want the fixed lens, wait until you see it used for like $1,000. Then it might be worth it. I still wouldn't buy it. I would buy this if I saw it used for $500 or less. Nothing more than that. I'm a professional, so I'll stick with the R5, R6 Mark II. I would love to have a travel camera that's cool, that's going to produce interesting results, that's going to make image quality that's different or more appealing than my camera phone. But for that, I might actually save up and get a Q3, get the Leica Q3. I'm going to rent that camera. I'm going to write a review on that so I can see, hey, this is worth the hype. Leica Q3 is worth the hype. Leica Q3 produces stuff that just looks different, looks amazing. And I'm going to make another part of this video, another video on my channel comparing the video qualities of this camera and going through that versus the Blackmagic 6K, because they both shoot 6K. Although Blackmagic is RAW, this is a more compressed version of 6K. You know, we can compare them. I have another video where we compared it with the Temu camera, and you can see it's night and day difference. I don't think it's going to be night and day difference, but you're going to be able to see what kind of grain, what kind of effects that you see when you're shooting with the different film stock. But for, again, professionals, they're not going to want to shoot like that. They're going to want to shoot a flat or log profile, so then they can go in and massage the video when they're editing it. And if you bake it in, then you might not be able to give that footage to a different editor for a different usage. You might not be able to sell it as stock image. You may not be able to repurpose it, because when you shoot at log, you can, add your regular Rec 709 LUT to it. You can add your creative LUT to it. You can use it to make something more cinematic. You can make something more clinical, and so on. Leave a comment if you bought it. Leave a comment on what you love about the camera, just so I can see maybe I made a mistake somewhere. Tell me if you're using it, what you're using it for, and you might change my mind. If you change my mind and have me end up buying the camera, I'll send you $100 myself. I promise you that.